All right. Peace. All right, let me test the audio real quick just to make sure everyone can hear. All right, let me do this here. Let me jump in. 1 second, 1 second. Hmm. All right. Okay, let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Let's see. What up, sis? Long time no speak, it feels like. Okay. I'm going to give it a minute. What up, fam? You there? I'm gonna give it a minute just so people can come in. As always, if anybody wants to share some positivity or some introspect or some insight or some anything, you're more than welcome to. I don't know what season y'all are in, but I think we all have been going through some type of growth or some type of challenge, or wouldn't be life, would it, right? Let's see. For those of you on YouTube, give me a second. You could also put your questions if you have them. Elizabeth, how you doing? Oh shoot, how are you on both of them? Miss Judge. So you're in Heartbeat, but you're in the other one, okay. You could choose. At the end of the day, I like if people spoke, but if you just rather type, that's fine too. I'm gonna give it a second for everybody else to jump on in. You know, it's weird, I can't see. Okay, here we go. All right. Blessings, blessings. What's going on, sis? Madonna. So I think this is how it's gonna be done from now on, except on the lives, I'll actually be using a better webcam because the one that I currently have, it's not where it's at. So once I get the better webcam, we'll have some audio in the app, and then we'll have a visual on YouTube. And that way, it'll always be recorded. That way, you can always see the questions that were asked and the answers to go with it. And so, as we're now in this space where we're moving, we just did the experience. We got our little detox in. It wasn't without challenge. We did have some hiccups, we did have some challenges, but I would say overall we made it through. A lot of people made it through. Some people decided they want to do it on their own time, and that's fine too. But overall, I wanted to say congratulations. Congratulations to all of you who are here now to receive it, or for those of you who are going to get this email later with the report with the recording. Congratulations for doing your best. In this experience. Even if it wasn't perfect, because remember, a good thing's really never perfect, right? So if you did this detox and there were some days where you might have didn't drink your water, didn't do your breathing, you snuck a little snack, a little popcorn, whatever it is, Don't be down on yourself. Look to the positive, because if you did it consistently enough, you got some results. And the results are always the proof in the pudding, right? You get exactly what it is that you put into it. This is how life works. So, for those of you who got the greatest results, I already know the kind of effort that you had to put in. So, kudos to you. And for those of you who didn't get the results that you were looking for, I remain open, receptive to learning what your difficulties were, outside of the facts that we know, the hiccups in the beginning where the herbs got about 7 days late. Outside of those facts of the start time, which is pretty much you or me creating the circumstances that allowed your expectations to dictate the disappointment that then set the tone of your experience, which I own, but a lot of us made it through that, right? So, any which way, you know, congrats. That's really what I want to say. As we're here right now, getting ready to move forward, a lot of you in the group, this was like the foundational one. This is the experience that I created to give everyone a taste of the foundation so that you can develop it for yourself. But in truth, you know, health is not popping a pill and you getting healthy. Health is you being able to learn the things that we were doing throughout the course of the detox and being able to integrate them into your life, right? For many different reasons. For many different reasons, the health game is changing. It's not the same thing that it used to be because the environments we live in are not what they used to be. Everything is changing, and some of it is not for the betterment of our health. So, in order to maintain this quality of health that we've cultivated, we have to maintain these habits. We have to create a culture or a rhythm in our day to day that allows us to incorporate some of the things from the detox, right? And I would say if I'm gonna be really frank and say what are the most useful things that I would say on my list of if I'm going from the most useful to the least useful, although all of them are useful, the things that I would encourage each and every one of you to maintain is the breathing techniques. First, the water intake schedule second, and then, things like emotional balance and then herbs and food last. That list will never change because when you control the breathing, you control the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems. You're able to regulate how your body is creating and circulating that energy throughout your system, and everything works better. And your body is 85% water. So when you're getting good quality water in your system and you're getting it continuously, then your body is able to eliminate some of the more insalubrious things that don't belong in your body. That's why. And then after that, you get your herbs, you get your food, right? But the two practices, what you said? Peace, peace. I guess that must have been an accident. It's all good. Y'all coming in the building and might hit the mute button. It's all good. But for those of you just coming in, we just kind of got into it. I just first and foremost said congratulations to everybody, that made it through in whichever way you made it through. Doing something like this isn't the easiest thing in the world because it forces us to have to change and inspect and transform some of the things that we've become very accustomed to that help us create our equilibrium, particularly the foods and how we spend our day and how we use our willpower points. And remember, when I'm saying something, if I'm saying something in this live stream, and it is something that you do not have 100% clarity on, I really want you to interrupt me and ask me the question. Because this isn't like a lecture, this is a round table. right? This isn't a pulpit. I'm not sitting high on a pulpit looking down. No, in this space, we're literally at the dinner table, and all of us are seeing eye to eye with each other, and like a family almost. The way I see it in my head is like the round table, Arthur's round table, right? We're sitting here, and I'm sharing what it is that I know, but the only reason why I'm opening my mouth is so that each and every one of you can get a certain level of clarity about my perspective and the information that I've digested to get to that point, so that you can then take that and learn it and see if it works for you. And you might come to me with something entirely different, something that I don't know. And in that way, we empower one another. Right? This is a concept, that I really want to create. So all I have to say, never hesitate to ask me any questions ever. There is not a stupid question. I don't care what it is. Right? So this is a space where we do not judge one another negatively. This is a space where we can be ourselves. This is a space that we're curating and cultivating so that everybody from wherever they are, we can get to that next step where we have more support, where we have more health, where we have more wealth, where we have more of an ability, or like my teacher would like to say, we have more response ability to direct the flow of our lives for ourselves and for our loved ones. So, um, with all that being said, if anybody has any questions at all before I get into the main highway, which will be where we are now and what are we going to look like moving forward? How are we going to keep this cipher rolling where everybody in here who's reached a certain level of experience or information or application, how do we take it further from here, still utilizing the app and creating more value for everyone here so that you can continue to get more results, and each and every one of us can leverage or share those results with others so that we can begin to increase our responsibility or appreciation in both sense of the words, right? So that's the main highway. um, but if you have a question that's not related to the main highway, even if you have it now in your head, I am 100% inviting and open to you interrupting me right now so that you can just ask it. And if it comes while we're discussing how we're moving forward, you can ask it too, because that helps me learn how to hold a pin in a thought, answer your question, and go back to it. So you expand my gray matter, right? Which is something that I always seek to do. The more I can do that, the better I get at it. So I never lose focus, right? It's like being in the world. There's tons of things that can distract you. There's tons of noises. There are tons of things to eat, tons of things to listen to, tons of things to indulge in to distract you. But your ability to get the results in your life, in my life, are literally dependent on me being able to maintain focus on creating the vision that I see in my head. Right. So I welcome you. Let's see here. All right, no questions on the YouTube. If y'all have one, definitely type it. Who that is? What's up? Hey, what's up, sis? Um, it's actually they're actually gonna get kind of the I would say they get the better end of the stick because I'm moving all of the herbs are prepared and I'm moving them over to a different fulfillment center that guarantees me 2 day shipping. Because I couldn't do the other one before. It was just too much of a delay and not enough clarity. So yeah, they'll be able to get the herbs, but what they wouldn't have just yet is they wouldn't have as much hands on as we had here. So the next detox I'll probably do. Let me see what time. It'll probably be in the spring. It'll probably be in the spring. or in the winter. I haven't decided yet, but they wouldn't have all the access to me like how y'all did. You feel me? Oh yeah, and really, what I'm actually getting ready to do is when I switch up the group inside the group here is gonna go from being the 20-day group detox, and it's gonna be the holistic mastermind. And these sections will still be here for the detoxes, and then we'll add some other things. So people coming in to do the detox, they're always going to be able to have access to the group here, and they'll be able to ask questions. They'll be able to see all the things that were shared in the previous experience, and so they'll have that. And they may have me like every 2 weeks versus every week, because what the shift that's going to happen in a group in a little bit is there are going to be people that are coming in to learn, and there's many different levels, but I'm going to split it between intro stuff, which will really be pre-recorded, and then I'll just do Q&A with the people inside here, and then we're going to go to the next level for people that are getting into reversing these specific diseases, and really wealth development. That is, how do we take what we've learned and bring it to the world or to the people around us, so that now we can actually create a positive impact, and earn some income in the same way. So it's going to be like it's really a health and wealth mastermind group that I'm going to turn this into, so each of us can begin to do these things. So, long answer to your question, but yeah, all the herbs are going to be there, and there's quite a few more coming. There's quite a few more. I basically reinvested most of everything, and I'm getting a whole lot more herbs. I should have some oils, tooth powders, some creams, basically, and then some things for the mothers, expecting mothers, and the children, because I think they're the most underserved in the community, and they're the most important as far as it comes to holistic health. So yeah, we have a ton of options coming that will be on fast delivery, and then the affiliate links for everybody, so that you guys can actually share it, and create extensions to your business, or your business that you will soon develop after being in the group. So yeah, yes, sis, you good? We good. I'll send you. I want you to get your link before you share it with your friend, though. So just give me. It's almost done. It should be done by next week. I say next week Thursday. I'll um I'll send it to you, and then you can move forward like that. Yes, I. And you particularly. Please, 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 within the next 2 days at least, reach out to me, because I've been meaning to connect with you. Where remember the 5th of November. November's coming around the corner, and I have not forgotten our objective for the new year. You feel me? Yes, sir. Yes, man. All right. He say, Hotep. He said, "Hot top on my art, bro. How can one devax from the shot?" This must be somebody. Oh, I didn't. I did not put this. I did not put the YouTube live for the private on private. It must be on public. So, Young King, um, in order to get that answered, you can absolutely heal yourself. All cells in your body regenerate. And if they regenerate faster than they degenerate, and the environment and the ingredients are in there within the blood and in the environment, the cells will rebuild themselves completely healthy and eliminate all the insalubrious things that are inside. Now, as far as how you do that, yeah, it's a system that you have to use. And so I can't just tell you it in 30 seconds or even 5 minutes, because I haven't learned how to simplify it to that degree. But I've written that down. So what I would suggest to you, my brother, is to text me and message me. I would say at least 2 to 3 times so your energy pops up more on the back end. And subscribe to the IG so I can see your sticker and I respond to you a little quicker. So I can get to you though, but it's I'm not in the business of giving people the placebo answer so that you can eat some herbs and drink some foods and you think that's that. I give you the real deal. So when you're ready, you can reach out. One love. All right, fam. Um, so yeah. All right, let's get into this document here. For those of y'all, for us in the group, this is how we're gonna be moving forward. Again, if there are any questions at all, you guys are more than free to ask. If there are things that you don't really want to share, you can send them as a DM. Um, you can send them as a DM, and I will check it here as well. Let me see. Move it out the way. Okay, that's my brother. Okay, let's move forward. I gotta open up this document real quick. But how's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? I wanna get to know how's the energy in the room. How's everybody feeling? If you're in the States, it's getting colder. Andrea, how are you, love? It's good to hear you. It's really good to hear you. I got you. I got you. We're gonna hop on that. I actually spoke with my elder about that particular situation, and he was just giving me the 411, and I'll relay it to you later. Okay, so here we go. It's all about. Let's see. Go ahead on. Go ahead. Okay. Hey, what's up, bro? What's up, man? Life. Have you watched The Alchemist yet, or listen to it, the audio? What animes have you watched? Ah, I need a focal point, man. But anyway, I can tell you, I am at near the end of the book, The Alchemist, which I would highly recommend to each and every one of you. It is a book I would listen to at least twice a year because it takes me to a journey of the soul, and it will do the same for you to show you something really beautiful that you wouldn't be able to feel unless you had that experience. It's amazing. But I am at that point where I'm really getting close to the end of realizing one of my personal legends. And everything in life is testing me right now to see if I've learned. So I'm a bit like Zahir from The Legend of Korra. I'm here and I'm here in service, but I'm also tapping into the other side where I'm everything everywhere. If that makes any sense. Right. So it's like it's a little bit of everything, man. I'm going through a bit of challenges, but I'm making it through, right? By tapping into the side of me that is eternal. But just to answer your question, man, I know it was long as hell. I'm trying to get more direct with it. Man, tell me about it. What's good with you, bro? I I I understand what you're saying. When I took back in 2012 when I took shrooms, the the earth. Yeah, yeah. Have you ever taken psilocybin? Well, how young are you, bro? Tell me. Ha, man, man, you're all the way in the orange, just touching the yellow a little bit. Oh man, that's great. Um, so I was around. Actually, I was around your age, and I took the mushrooms, and I went into my room and I cried for like 2.5 hours, man, because it was beautiful. It was pure beauty. It was. It was take the feeling of every Christmas you've ever had, every Thanksgiving you ever had, every amazing moment in any video game you've ever played, every, you know, you sorry, but I'm gonna just keep it 100, fam. I'm talking to Miles. Your first hug from a girl that you like, your first kiss on the cheek, your first butt smack. Take all of that and put it and take all of that and put it into a ball, and imagine that ball being like a big pool of water, and you're immersed in it, and every single cell in your body can feel that simultaneously, right? So I was sitting in that for 2.5 hours, man, and then it came to me that I could ask the universe anything. And so I asked it. I said, who am I and what am I doing here? And I began to see all of the answers to the questions that I was asking. And I saw it, man. I can't share everything, but what I will share is I saw multiple communities being built. I saw children doing like playing outside in the field, like how they're not doing now. I saw people building, very special shaped homes, gardening. And I was just bawling, man. I was like, I was like, I was just crying, man, tears of joy. And um, I can't remember why we said that for, but what did you ask me? Because you got me in my story, man. I can't remember the. Oh, okay, okay. I got it now. You brought it right back. So what you experience right now was more of the thing that creates health, and that's realigning your mind. It's more of a it's you see, as I've taught on IG before, energy energy create your thoughts create your energy, and your energy creates your cells. We were in the realm of the mental and emotional, while dealing with the physical energy and physical body. We were more so focused on the internal, the emotions and the mind. That way we could create new habits and do pattern interrupts, so that we can operate more efficiently. Right, so think about it like this. Most people approach detoxes from a perspective of, I am going to put the physical food in the body so that my physical body can change. We did that, but we did the extra step of dealing with the actual architect that creates the cells of the body, right? So it's like having a workforce. We dealt with the general and we dealt with the troops versus just dealing with the troops. Check. Yeah, for sure, bro. You 22, man. You in a To be 22 and be in this space. Man, I got about 10 years on you. All I can say is I'm extremely excited to see where you take this. And as a brother, I would just say, what I wish I could say to myself, and I would say, Shut up and apply. Just apply it." Because everybody can talk. And as you'll see, you'll see moving forward throughout these years, you'll see that anybody can say anything, and it doesn't matter about any facts. All that matters is that person's ability to put on a shield of confidence and speak with that confidence, and their rhythm will imprint on the other person's mind, and they'll believe anything they have to say, even if it's the sky is purple. Doesn't matter, right? So you're going to begin to see that, but in the next, I would say, 2 to 5 years, the shift that's going to happen is people are no longer going to listen. At least people that can think critically, those people are no longer going to pay attention to people that just talk well. It's going to be about, hey, what do I see? What can you prove with your experiences? Where's the results, right? And a lot of people that just eat vegan, they're in for a big surprise, man. Hey, man, look, I promise you, one thing that I've been meaning to do and thinking about you and just conversation we're having right now is there's a lot of stuff that you can learn. I think Andrea brought it up. There's a lot of stuff that you can learn, but there hasn't been, because it's different for everybody, but there hasn't been a different set group ways to just apply it. What would I do if I could go back in time and be your age? I would read only a handful of books, and I would begin to read those books over and over and over and over and over and over until my brain was saturated with them. Right? Some of them being Think and Grow Rich, Robert Cialdini's Persuasion, Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, Rumi's Book of Wisdom, the Osho book. I would read certain books over and over because the more you put these high level thoughts into your mind, the more they seed the garden of your heart and mind. And you'll instead of having information, because people will come to me, right, and they'll ask me the question, and I realized by giving them the answer without giving them a way to actually have an experience with it, I've crippled them. Right? So now we have a whole generation of people that they ask a question and get an answer and they think they learned something. Like taking a test, right? We were memorized something and then we took the test and 5 years later you can't remember anything about that shit because you didn't really learn, right? So, but with when you have wisdom for that's been cultivated over the years through some of the most intelligent minds that have ever existed, preserved in these books, bro, you can begin to give people the questions. I mean, it might sound a little messed up, but when people ask you a question, you'll go tell them to do something. And in doing something, they'll figure out the answer if they're really sincere about knowing the answer, right? Because it's the game is backwards, man. And the more people scroll on social media, the less their critical thinking brains exist. So, in knowing that, you know, brother, you just in a really good space, man. Really good space. Um, Let me send you something right now. I'm gonna send you something right now, Miles. Let me look here. I'm gonna say. Let me see. Think about it like this, bro. This is something really to think about. Do you understand how when you understand how the mind works? It's like whatever you expose it to, whatever you repeatedly eat through your senses, sight, taste, touch, sound, smell, whatever you put into your senses, your mind begins to develop an appetite for. And after you've done it enough and it's connected to moments of pleasure, you are now an addict. So what we're seeing is the human beings being turned into really bio android. We're like half human, half robots now. Most people get the same level of love that they used to get from natural interaction from a machine. Like low key, man, you making me feel like an elder or something. But you know, in my generation, we didn't have cell phones until I'd say like 15, 16. Cell phones weren't a thing for us to have. We didn't even have internet like that. I remember when I was 10 on dial-up. I know you probably even know what that dial-up sounds like. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we didn't have access to so much data outside of ourselves, so we learn how to be in the moment, in appreciating others, in extracting the pleasure from life, from what we could interact with around us, versus your generation and even some of my generation now that will simply just go through social media and scroll for dopamine. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. You Instagram page be looking like a thirst trap. It's crazy. So I mean, at the end of the day, bro, as more people do that, this is why this group is so important. I'm gonna bring it back in and focus in for everybody listening. This group is important because the longer people spend looking at a screen, taking in a whole bunch of information, holding a cell phone in their hand, and not doing the things that they need to be doing, the that the sicker they become. And it's gonna come to the point. It's happening right now already, but it's still just light in comparison to what it's gonna be as the years continue. Is gonna The interest on it is gonna be compounded. People are really gonna be hurting and confused and in fear because everything is just squeezing them. Everything's getting more expensive, jobs are getting less, resources are getting more pricey, and their health problems are now through the roof because they've been under a spell for so long. So it's going to be necessary for each and every one of us to know exactly what to do beyond herbs. So, like, case in point, I had a situation the other day where a mother she was like, "Oh my gosh," she drank some coffee, and then she gave the breast milk to the baby, and the baby was jumping off the roof. The baby was like, "It's morphin' time," right? Baby was like, was going off, man. Back flipping, rolling around, Milo in the place. If you ever seen the Legend of Korra Avatar, the baby was like Milo, the son of um, Avatar Aang's son. But yeah, and I asked the question. I was like, okay, well, if a baby was to have a seizure, do you know what to do? If someone was to have a seizure in front of you, do you know how to help them? If someone were to be showing signs of a heart attack or holding their heart, do you know how to help them? Besides calling the ambulance and taking them to the place that you know almost to the place that none of us want to go to because we know these people are crazy. You see what I'm saying? So when we're here, we're able to learn. Well, what's the cause of of um of a seizure? What's the cause of a stroke? When we get to the root cause of those things, it's a lack of flow in the oxygenation in the electrical conductivity. You can always push a pressure point. You could always play a music. You can always directly stimulate. There's always something that you can do. But if you don't know how the body works, you'll never be empowered enough to know what to do. And that's where everything is the way it is. Because if everyone's always taking in data about Kanye West this, about I don't know, about Iraq or Iran or Russia and oil and food shortages and financial crashes, and everyone's always taking this information on, and it's stressful as hell. And then they go to the chemicals in the food that's gonna make them feel the most pleasure so that they can sedate themselves. And that's not enough. So then they go to the liquor. And that's not enough. So then they go to the weed. And that's not enough. So then they take it out on themselves via masturbation with themselves or with another person because they're never really there, right? So I'm saying, man, it's a sick system, and the only way we're gonna be able to do anything about it is if we learn and make ourselves the examples. Because when we're able to do that, the proof is in the pudding. You don't even have to speak. Before you even speak, people feel different and they don't even know why. But you know it's because you are aware that your thoughts create a whole electromagnetic field around your body that extends 20 to 50 feet out, depending on how charged you are. And so when they're in your field, your thoughts are beginning to be picked up by their brain. And because you have all this good stuff in it, it makes them feel good. Right? That's brother, that is the real advantage to having people in your circle that you can call that have a balanced brain and are wealthy. This is what I'm saying. Like just by association, by being able to get on a call with with a group of people that have a focused intent, and we're learning and we're growing and we're really being accountable, bro, the growth becomes exponential. You watch Naruto. Please tell me you watched Naruto. What? Man, you can't name one anime or video game that you played so I can make a reference. Not one. Hmm. That's the closest. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna pull something from that. Avatar the movie or Avatar that series? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. We got enough. Avatar's good. We got a bunch of stuff I could touch on. But yeah, man, it's basically like you being able to imagine each of us are avatar, and when you are in a group of a mastermind group, we all have access to all the different avatar states. We're all the avatars that have ever existed. When I read a book and I bring my knowledge and somebody else brings their knowledge and this other person brings their knowledge, all of our brains come together to create one giant mastermind. And then we're able to pull from that mastermind. That's the same. Bro, I get on phones with some of my teachers, and just from getting on the phone with them, I notice how my thoughts begin to change and I begin to learn things without them even needing to speak. Or as they're speaking, they hone in on it. And then I'm able to know exactly what they're going to say to me before they even finish the sentence. When I was your age, bro, I was listening to lectures in my IKEA brimless bed. It was basically a bed that has the pull out drawers. And what I did was I put my subwoofer inside the bed and turned the bed into a giant speaker. Right. So it was a subwoofer in there, and my surround sound was outside. So when I would go to sleep listening to my lectures, it was like it was like Zordon was talking to me. This is probably too throwback. It's probably too throwback. Some vintage, man. I'm showing my age. But it was like a ominous, godlike voice was talking to me because I could feel the vibration in their voice. But when I would go to sleep, bro, it was like I'm in a classroom and I could ask questions and I was learning and I was doing tests and stuff in my sleep, learning information like as if I'm talking to you right now. That's what we have all the time with each other. But we're never present enough to usually intentionally receive it. So yeah, man. So yeah, bro. This was a good detour, bro. I appreciate this road. Bring it full circle for the fun. Did you have anything else on your mind? What about your experience would you have liked to improve? That's something I definitely want to know. Yeah, I mean, from the experience, now that you've gone through it, what would you want? Where do you think you want to improve, or where do you think I could have made the experience a little better to make it more sound? Share your thoughts, bro. It's all love here. Yeah, hmm. Well, brother, you're ahead of 80. You're ahead of 90% of the population because most people think they exist as a physical body only, and they've forgotten that they're spirit and their energy. So now you're operating from a whole different vernacular. So what you'll be able to see is going to be different than what most people can even fathom. And the way you're going to bridge that, bro, is by opening up and being yourself and speaking to people authentically. Like, you know, I, if I go back in time, I'll tell you, it's not about having the information. People can't even hear the information. They can't. Think about this. You literally cannot receive something that you're not ready for. People don't have the hardwiring. They don't have You can tell them everything as is, verbatim, with the facts. It don't matter. They can't hear it if their brain has been primed to believe something else. But what's more powerful than a thought is an emotion, which is why music does what it does, which is why movies do what they do. But that's the power that you're going to be able to cultivate. How to understand people's emotions. And if you just cultivate love, I'm telling you, love is intoxicating. They like to make it seem like fear and hate and anger and violence and all these things are powerful. And sure they are, man, but they can't hold a candlestick, man. Hate is like a fire and love is like the ocean. And we're on planet Earth where 70% is water, right? So yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hate is like being a firebender on a small piece of wood surrounded by ocean, man. All you gotta do is, splash a little water that way, and the fire's gone. And the problem is, you know, everyone's just been so stuck on this little piece of land. They forgot how big the ocean is and how much deliciousness is inside of it. And personally, I know it's probably hard to find a reason why at 22. So that section that I put on finding your reason why and letting purpose drive your behaviors, it might have been a little difficult for you, I'd imagine, because I imagine you still figuring stuff out, man. Look, real talk. You just, ugh, I'm having a personal conversation, but then I also have to be mindful and receptive to everyone else. So it's just like, you're just trying to figure out which Skittles you like, which tastes better, what feels better, what attitude do I like, Where do I want to be? Where do I want to go? So it's like explore, and it'll come to you, man. When you find the thing in your head that you can do and it doesn't feel like work, and when you're doing it, have you seen the movie Soul by Disney? Shoo! Go ahead, watch that, man. Go ahead, watch that, bro. That's a really good movie. So, call your girlfriend or your partner in the moment, and you know, cook a mean kill salad and go watch that movie. Yeah, man. That's a really beautiful movie for everybody who who might want a little clarity. I watched it just like 2 days ago because it's one of those movies that bring me back into the purpose of living. It depicts that very, very beautifully, and it's definitely a good way to program your subconscious mind. So it's okay, Andrea. Look, I'll put it in the chat. Let me- That's the beauty. That I think I might do some of these. I may make some of these public enough to where people can hear us. But if they want to participate, they just got to join the group because I'm gonna put things in the chat. 'Cause it's a good. Actually, I think it's in the movie list. Yeah. So if y'all go, you know how to access the movie list, right? Yep. Look for the movie Soul by Disney. Beautiful movie. Oh yeah. Very beautiful. You're welcome. So, boom, boom, boom. Last question, Miles. Just wanted to know where are you located, bro? Brothers, Jersey. Okay, cool. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So let me just put it out there. Um, well, we're getting into that. I literally designed a kit for the cold season, and for the cold season, the way the breath is going to change is you're going to work on your deep breathing, but you also got to mix in your breath of fire. Your fire breaths are going to do something to engage your body like a cup of coffee does. That way, when you need heat, there's two ways you can get it: through the breath of fire, and then through an adjusted breath where you take in 85% into the stomach and then the top part through the mouth into the top of the lungs. It's some advanced breath work techniques, but if you're ever cold and you start doing this breathing, your body will heat up just like that. And that's the way you maintain balance. That's the way you hyperinflate the function of the lymphatic system to get rid of the stagnant lymph that gets stuck up during the winter, which is the reason why most people get sick. In addition to them killing themselves with Thanksgiving and holiday celebrations, it's really because they stagnate the lymph because the weather keeps things cold, and cold water doesn't flow. Right? If it's iced up, then it's blocked up and it's not flowing. So coldness prevents expansion and growth, which is why everything, vegetation disappears, things slow down, everything. But anyway, all right, bro, I'm a power with you, man. We're gonna keep it going. But let me get into the main highway. We had a nice detour there. I appreciate that very much. But it's almost about to be hours, so let me get into the main highway, which is basically the holistic mastermind group. For those of you who are in the previous calls, I was going to call it holistic genius, and I was just like, no, 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 no. This is just the holistic mastermind because we're going to be covering all things that are holistic. And I think the landing page, I should have the landing page done in about 2 days. I'm going to give everybody until about the 11th to decide what they want to do. So if it's so the long story short, the group is now going to be membership based, and so in order to maintain membership, you it's going to be about $30 a month. But y'all know me and how I do things, so for that $30 a month, you'll literally be able to get that right back if you plan on getting herbs, if you plan on getting services, if you plan on getting protocols. And I'm going to be giving you guys an affiliate link. That way, when you learn and you apply, you can share so that it really doesn't cost you anything to stay in the group. And it just becomes a way for you to cement yourself into higher learning while creating a whole new revenue stream or stream of income for yourself. So the landing page for that is going to be done in about 2 days. But in a nutshell, um, it's going to be everything we had now, but I'm going to have planned like how we did it every week. I'm going to be doing it every other week. So it's going to be 2 lives a week, with the Q&A that we always going to have. And you'll have all the herbs at a discount. And for those of you who are dealing like with situations right now where you need more healing, so that's to say, when you pay $30 for the membership, if you go to the website right now, you'll see the antiviral kit, which is basically the STD elimination kit. That'll be at 20% off. If you go and you see the cold kit, the cold season kit, which is basically, I think, 4 herbs that I had selected and curated to help your body maintain its immune function and its level of heat for the herbs that are in there, that's 20% off. All of the herbal products are 20% off. All of the consultations, all of the scans, they're 25% off. And all of the protocols that are getting ready to be funneled out of here, it's really, I have it set at 30, but it might be even more for group members because it might be up to 50. I just haven't decided how it is I'll bundle them because to me, those are the things that you guys will be able to get. And once you experience it, then you'll be able to share with other people. And then you can share your affiliate link and do it like that. Right. So it's a number of things. It's a number of things that I'm going to be putting in there. And it's going to be systematic. I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to do it thoroughly. And and y'all are going to be able to really extract the value of that entirely. So, as far as moving forward, I'll repeat it one more time if I wasn't clear, because I know I'm working on that all the time, being clear. Um, as of the 11th, so 11/11, that's the cutoff date. So on 11/11, probably 11/12, right? 11/12, that's when, for those of you who decided you don't want to be in the group no more, that's when I'll start to remove you from the group and leave only the people who've signed up for membership. So that's what it will be. I definitely want to keep everybody, because at the end of the day, like, this group is really important. We all need strength, we all need support, and most importantly, we need community. We need a online and soon to be somewhat physical group of people that we can trust because we know we all have the same intent. We all have the same direction that we want our life to unfold in. And we all want to prepare to live in a world where we can actually live and not be regulated under mechanisms of control that that make us less of who we are. So, y'all already know what it's about, but that's what's going to be happening. That's the change that's going to be taking place. Um, I am open. I am open to things that people may want to do because I realize the value of the mastermind is in having other masterminds. And each and every one of you may have some solid ideas that if you share with me, I'm open. What's one? One I'm reading in the room is having a book, like a book reading. It could be a book reading circle where y'all decide to read one book and talk about it. I don't know. It might be a movie watching circle where you watch a movie and you list the things that you've learned from that movie, what the movie made you feel. And so now the catalog of movies becomes something more than just a movie list. It becomes a how to feed your emotions catalog that really can be turned into a product and you guys can do whatever you want with it. Right. So I want you to think of this as the foundation for not just for you to get your health right, but this is a circle where everybody in here, I guarantee, as long as you continue to apply the information, you get those results and you share those experiences with others authentically, you will absolutely begin to create income. Because remember, disease is $1 trillion business. And by being the living example of health, every single person that you know and every single person that you'll ever meet, you're not selling them anything. You're simply sharing a solution with them. And when you begin to think about business in that way, it changes your whole perspective. You're not trying to interrupt somebody to give them something to try to sell them so that you can make money. Nah, you're sharing value with people because you like to help people or you just want to help people get out of the place that they've been stuck in. And you have something that they can use. If they want it, they can take it. If they don't, it's okay. At the end of the day, it's just about love. And you leave with lightness and love. You never push anything people aren't ready for. You see what I'm saying? So it's a whole flow that I'm gonna be sharing in the way that I can share it best. But I do want to let everybody know that I am absolutely open to being receptive to any suggestions that you guys may have because I'm always learning. You know, I'm kind of a slow learner. A lot of you may say, "Oh man, that can't be true," but it's true. I'm really a slow learner. I've just been studying for a very very long time, and I've had really good teachers. But I'm always learning. So, family, that's about it that I have to share with you. I will be sharing all of the when the landing page for the membership is done, and which will be connected to this website. I will share it with each of you through email, so you could check your emails, and I'll probably be sharing it out through the community app. So we're gonna be doing that like that too. But again, if anybody has any questions, you're more than welcome to come into the cipher. Let me check the YouTube. I haven't checked the YouTube in a minute. Nope, nobody on YouTube. Um, for those of you who do not know, I'll just put a little emphasis. Whenever I do a live here, you can go to the Documents tab, and once you go to the Documents tab, under Holistic Resources, you go to Community Lives, and then there's a Google document that says Community Live Recordings. I am going to copy and paste the link of the live when it's available on this document. So if you ever miss any calls, I'm going to go ahead and put it right here so you can see it whenever you can. Some days you might not be able to make it, but you wanted to catch the energy so that the energy can add to your mental real estate so you can continue to evolve. And that's the way you'll get it. All right. So it'll be right there. Um, at some point, I'll get the transcript, but that's fancy smanchy. I don't have that yet. But there are some applications I'm looking into that transcribe words into text. Um, that's going to have a function in the future when we get into the business component. So, but yeah, fam, that's about it. I want to just say again, thank you very much to each of you who've been here, who've done this experience with me, who are part of the group and the team, and we have more stuff to build on. Like I'm really, y'all, yeah, I'm a Cancer. I'm emotional. Let me have a moment, but y'all have no idea how much it means to me to be able to do the things that were shown to me when I took those mushrooms, you know, about 11 years ago. When I took those mushrooms 12 years ago to date. And I saw the things that made me cry for a few hours to be living in it and seeing it come into fruition. I'm very, very, very grateful. And so with that gratitude, you know, I respond to each of you and give each and every one of you, you know, the best solutions for each of your problems so that you can resolve them, so that you can heal, so that you can maximize your ability to respond and share valuable introspect with others, so that we can change the trajectory of the status quo that we find ourselves in, you know, not just as a people, but as a collective, right? There's so much things happening in the world that I wouldn't talk about because why talk about that when I can just focus 100% on the solution and what we're doing right now, sharing space, putting our minds together, helping each other learn, helping each other hold ourselves accountable. You know, we are the power. We are the solution. So I hope that each and every one of you remember that. Whatever it is that you are going through, whatever challenge it is you're facing, you have strength in others and you are not alone, right? For your Harry Potter fans, you know, if it's one thing the enemy wanted to do, or any enemy of yours wants to do, is the same thing that they use, the same principles that they use to divide Africa. They divided the people by title, they broke up the languages, they broke up the economy, and they had them fighting against each other. They had them feeling like they were alone. And the truth is, we're never alone. Even when we're in a house by ourselves, we're never alone. But truly, you know, in this world, we are never alone when we share the same ideals and principles and morals and desires. You know, we're very strong when we unify. And that's what I'm seeking to do with this group so that we can have a team of healthy, happy people that have the ability to be liquid enough to build whatever contingency we may need in this world to come. So, again, thank you very much. Thank you so very much for being here. Um, I'm so grateful to just be able to share and share in this capacity the things that have been handed down to me by some of the most intelligent, love filled people I've had the honor of meeting in the physical or in the spiritual. So, one love, if anybody got anything to add to the mix, you can. Don't want to be too serious because I do like to play. Anybody want to share some words? Let's definitely. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for your kind words. And um, when people like you, when young brothers like you, young brothers like you, 22 young men, that's to me that's really exciting. I really have to contain it because I really just wanna. Man, you ain't watch Yu Yu Hakusho, man. Jeez, man, this is just some reference. Hola, Andrea. You have something to say? Oh, I got you. I said I want to say thank you. just, just that's the song I heard in my head. Smell it much. Y'all don't understand. I'm really a dork. I'm really a nerd. This man, come on, man. It's so much fun. Life is music, and I'm always hearing music in my head all the time, all the time. I'm like a jukebox. But Judy, that's what I need to speak to. There she is. Hey, brother, that's an excellent question. So I'll put it like this: life, if you got to please, brother, put this on the list. You're gonna watch Soul, and you're going to listen to and read The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Just that is very important for you to have in your mental garden. Um, but life gave me omens. And when I was healing myself from some STDs, That was I was around. I was getting. It was in. Yeah, it was right after senior year. Right after senior year, and Dr. Sabi was hot shit. He was, he was Michael Jordan of the herbs and healing at that time. He was literally just everywhere. Sea moss, diabetes, cancers, herpes. He was healing everything. So I was ODing on him like like a kid that just ate a lick of icing or some chocolate cake. You ever seen them? You ever seen a baby take their first bite of cake and ice cream? They go, oh my god, and then they're like fiends. They just want to put their hands in the whole thing. Right? And he mentioned the use of mushrooms. He mentioned it. He used psychedelic mushrooms in his healings. Sebi was a psychonaut, and when people came to him and they were really sick, and he realized the sickness was mental, he would give them a large shroom dose and have them shroomed out in a land of bliss over there in Honduras. Right? So it was through Sabi that I decided to get into it. And when I did do it in a safe environment. I had my cousin, who was my favorite cousin. I had my best friend, and we were in the cabin up in the mountains around this time too. In the fall, it was cold, very cold. Um, and I had an elder just kind of curate it, just look out for us. So one thing I would tell you about the shrooms is psychedelics are conscious. When you're taking a mushroom, you're tapping into the the mind of the earth that is conducted through what's called the mycelium network that connects every single tree to every single plant and everything then and creates this entire grid of consciousness for the planet to be able to do what it does, right? The mycelium network is very deep, so understand when you're taking a mushroom, you're literally plugging in to the original internet. You're plugging into the mind that's literally shaped the earth to be what it is, because the bacteria kingdom predates every single form of life on earth. Started as the amoeba, right? Even the mitochondria inside of our bodies are a cousin to the chloroplast that was inside the plant. The mitochondria in our bodies is a relative of the mycelium network that created it, right? So if you really think about the pecking order of life on earth, mycelium will be here after everyone is dead and gone, and it will recreate life. So you're plugging into a consciousness that is very powerful. And so treat it like you would treat a king that you're coming into his kingdom, right? If you're coming into a kingdom, into a king's chambers, you're going to be very respectful. You're not going to come in there and say, "Nigga, give me some food." No, you're not going to do that because he's gonna teach you manners, or if not, kill you or throw you out. Like Eddie Murphy in the Michael Jackson "Remember the Time" video. This is throwing people out. Man, I gotta learn how to connect more to the mind, to the younger minds, because now I'm realizing my reference points are old. I'm getting older. God damn it. But oh, okay, okay. So you're on Michael Jackson. I got you. Word. That's I cried too, man. I was in the gym listening to Michael Jackson, and I was in the gym, and then he died, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go harder. Let me put on gym. Put on gym. Let's get. But yeah, man. If you do it, you could definitely reach out. I have a connect. She's very divine. She grows it, and she offers it in whole and microdose form. So if you wanted it whole, that way you can. I'm all about efficiency. So when I would usually get anything, I would get it in wholesale bulk form. That way I'll offset my cost by selling it to others. So from the time I was your age, I would always do this. So if someone, a 3.5 grams of mushrooms go for $50. If it's really good, it's over 50. But you can get a whole ounce for 300. You see what I'm saying? When you get a whole ounce for 300, that's 28 grams versus buying 50 for 3.5 for 50. That way, I can have four individual trips and sell four and not have to pay anything at all. Relatively anything. What was the math? Weed and mushrooms are. Let me break this down. Weed, but they all function on just a slightly different geometrical form of DMT. If you get your breathing down to three, 4 breaths a minute, your body will begin to secrete the same thing that you experience when you are on weed or on you are on mushrooms. It's dimethyltryptophan. Tryptophan. Tryptophan or tryptophan. I gotta look that up. DMT is the spirit molecule. There's a documentary on it. So when you take the mushroom, it's different. You're right. When you're taking the mushroom, it, it's a different destination and a different frequency than when you're tapping into the cannabis, right? But similar thing. I would say do the oil. If you're doing the cannabis, just do the oil. There's nothing wrong with the oil if you're doing it intentionally. Both are just tools. I would say ganja is more for the nerves, but really mushrooms are like top tier, man. It just depends on your. Here's what it comes down to. A lot of people don't really know this. It depends on your experiences with the plant throughout your lifetimes here. We're getting a little metaphysical when I say stuff like this, but it's truth. If you've had experiences, I don't know how much times, people might not believe in reincarnation. I'm not trying to knock beliefs here, but if you were someone who had more experiences with the plant, then your body will respond differently to it. If you're someone that did more shrooms in the past, maybe you were a Neanderthal and you ate those mushrooms when you were training before you went to war, when you went inside the ocean. You see what I'm saying? Then you're gonna have a different experience with the mushrooms because it's unique to your soul's experience. So you have to be able to determine which one is better for you based off of your own personal experience. So what I would say is get off of smoking the ganja as much as you can consume it through oil. Because smoking anything is just nonsensical, you know, when you have a better option and delivery system, by just consuming an extract of it or by consuming it directly. That's not to say don't ever do it. That's to say if you are going to do it, make sure you do it intelligently. Make sense? So 'cause that's to say, I don't usually smoke. There's no sense in it. I actually just microdose all the time, and I found I really don't need anything else. Um, but if I go around my elder, and my elder has some homegrown, and he has some dried gotu kola or brahmi herb, and he has some blue lotus petals, you think I'm gonna pass that opportunity? Absolutely not. That's my that's my elder, man. Especially that's a moment in time that I will always be able to come back to and learn from, regardless to wherever I'm at. Right. So when you begin to look at, here's a gift, my brother. Begin to look at the times that you spend with people as yours forever, because it is. I'm able to go back into my mind to conversations that I've had even 10 years ago, learn things and renew myself with emotions that were created in that moment. When you do that, you're able to hold on to all of the good that life has ever given you. Yeah, man. Let's see here. But yeah, family. I think did I answer your question though? Is it was it thorough enough? You gotta let me know. That I might have left some gaps in there. Tell me. You good, Miles? You there? Hmm. Yeah, I can hear you now. Oh, you had to reset the app. I got you. Okay. Oh yeah, you good there, bro. I mean, I have more plugs. I have a lot of plugs, man. I'll just plug you in. All right. Well, all right, fam. I think it's about that time. It is 9:22. We've been on for an hour, 21 minutes, 12 seconds. And I guess I'll do the last call for anyone that may want to come up and share the thoughts that they have, you know, share their thoughts, share their experiences, share how they're feeling. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're good here. All right, fam. Thank you again. Thank you for being here. And, I said I'll do every other week, but I do like the Sundays, but I'll always give y'all a heads up a day in advance. So I'm not certain that I'll do it next week because this one is supposed to be the one concluding, but I may still do it because I just love to get on here and hold a vibe. And so I'll be letting you guys know. Look in your emails for the things that you're going to be needing to be in here before the cutoff on the 12th. And as always, know that you have me here. Like, don't sleep on using the messenger here. Like, it's way better. If you have me on WhatsApp, that's even better. But that's not everyone could go on there because I'll be swamped. So if you have me on WhatsApp, you always hit me there. But here is second. Then the community app is like third and fourth with the subscriptions and IG. So when you have a thread to me here, know that you have a quicker way to communicate. Don't sleep on it, and you'll always get a response from me. All right? Okay, fam. I love y'all. Peace, peace. Bye. Let's see. And the stream here.